All right, hey guys, welcome back to Happy Corp and Wargaming. I'm in the hotel room, and we got maybe an hour 15 for the next round. So I figured I'd bring you my prep work for how do I get ready for this like unknown matchup, because I don't really know who I'm going to be playing, but I know the map I'm playing on, and I know the mission I'm playing on. So hopefully this brings you value, so you can translate this to your own games to figure out exactly how would you deploy in what scenario that, at least with all the information that you actually have. So let me run you down through what I got. So I have the list I've got for the World Championships here. The list is freaking awesome, guys. I can't wait to do the full breakdown for you because holy crap, this thing rocks. All right, so we're on Crucible Battle. It's going to be Inspired Leadership, and it's also going to be Scorched Earth. So hold 2 objectives. The first thing you have to identify on a map like this is I only have to hold 2 objectives to max my primary. I don't have to hold 3. That's really, really important. I have a very safe objective I can hold right here. Well, actually, no, I don't, because if I turn this, so this is actually not a safe objective because you can't hold it from this wall, even though it looks like a safe objective. It's actually just a very, very safe staging point, but it's not a safe objective. So realistically, there's only your home field that's safe, which means my infiltrators in the backfield. I'm not using them aggressively to screen out deep strikes. All right. Then the next thing I have to look at is, all right, there is a lot of places for me to deploy, but where the heck am I, even though I can deploy basically everywhere, where the heck can I actually stage? So what I did is I drew some lines on here just so you guys can see like the firing lines. So if you're touching red or inside the red lines, that means I can be shot and seen turn 1. So as you might notice, there's not very many places where you can actually stage. So there's a beautiful Lancer-sized hole right in the middle. So I'm going to put a Lancer there. Basically, no matter what happens, I'm going to put a Lancer here. Because now my Lancer turn 1 can move out here, or it can move out here. So I'm easily threatening this entire firing lane, and I'm easily threatening this entire firing lane, which is going to make him have to think twice about how he's going to want to deploy his heavies, which is really good. Now, I could get a Lancer in this sweet little pocket also, but what I'd rather do is get 2 of my other tanks there. So I'm going to get my Predator here, and I'm going to get my Ballistas here. Right next to them is going to be my Calidus. She is positioned to turn 1 get me containment, or basically whatever else I need. My Ballistas Dreadnought is going to be able to walk right here, so he's going to be in cover with a 2-up armor save with las cannons that's just firing across the entire map. So I like where he is. My Predator is positioned to do the same, or maybe come up here. So actually, now that I think about it, maybe I'm going to switch their position. So I'm going to put the Predator here, I'm going to put the Ballistas here. Just because I'm more likely going to want to push out with the Predator than I would the Ballistas. The Ballistas can walk up this line. I can get both of them up that line as well if I need to fire this. Although it's kind of hard to put a tank on this line, or a heavy on this line, because a lot of times when you do, they're kind of stuck over here for the rest of the game. Over here, I've got Mephiston. He's lone op, so he's sweet. He can just deploy right there. Very easy containment turn 1. Fairly useful. Then we have a Ball Predator in this stage. Now, I will be visible from this angle with my Ball Predator. There's nothing I can do about it. So this is going to be considered an aggressive deployment of him, but I like having a fast, hard-pushing little threat. This will also kind of force him to put a tank buster on this side of the map if he wants to do that, which would then expose them to a Gladiator Lancer, right? So if they want to put a heavy hitter over here to try to deal with the Ball Predator early on, then I'm more than happy to oblige. Over here, I've got one Predator Structure. He's basically perfectly safe from here. The only place that he could really be shot from would be if they stage a tank right here and have something hanging over to shoot from, which it's still over 24, so if I'm playing guard or something, there's no tank commander that's going to try to pop me from there. There might be an angle here into him. No, there's not. Sanguinary Guard, super happy, because they're just going to come up stage here, or they're going to start advancing to stage up here. JPI are going to stage right here, or they're going to jump up here to stage. Now, in this mission, the JPI might actually end up going in deep strike. I'll just figure that out after I know who I'm deploying against. And then lastly, I'm going to have my scouts right up in the middle. If I go second, they'll scout back here to be safe. If I go first, they might actually move up here to block move lanes. It just depends on the matchup. So they're there to get me area denial. They're going to get me secure no man's land. They're going to get me established locus. I've got both my containments set up. I've got I actually have really easy access to engage on all fronts here. So basically, I've got every single secondary I could possibly draw and reasonably score turn 1 covered. I've got all of my firing lanes covered, and I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. Now, I do have one more mission that I need to play today. It's going to be on the tipping point. Same terrain. So let's just take a quick look at the tipping point. It will change things a bit. Not too much, though. So basically what we do here is the piston's going to have to be pulled back a little bit. these firing lanes definitely change some. So I might end up having to get my, I might not be able to get my Lancer there anymore. And I might end up needing to put a ball. My sponsons, yeah, so he can't safely deploy there because he's got those sponsons. Maybe a Predator can? Yeah, so a Predator can safely deploy here, but the Ball Predator can't because the Ball Predator is a little bit too wide. So I might end up putting on my Ball Predator here now. It's very tempting. This is actually very tempting to maybe put a Sanguinary Guard here. Let's just see if I can do it. Because if I can, it's an insane pressure threat to my opponent. Like, if I could actually make this work, and I would move the ball for this. Let's see. This is the line. Now, he could definitely see that one. So this one would have to come back. But if I can get 2 Sanguinary Guard here, keep them in coherency. Let's see if I can actually draw this. I've got to get rid of some of these lines now. Let's erase all these drawn lines. So this would be the place I'm worried about. So he could not shoot me right here because he just literally can't draw a line of sight, which would mean he would have to come out to shoot me. And there's not many things I really care about him coming out to shoot me with. Let's say if he has a Forge Fiend deployed here, okay. I don't want a Forge Fiend shooting me. So if he has a Forge Fiend deployed here and he wants to move the Forge Fiend up to expose himself to shoot my Sanguinary Guard, then I don't like that. But what that could allow me to do is if I just deployed like this instead, he's in coherency. And there's no way that they can see him. So I could. This is actually something that I could do. But then he could see me here as well. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough decision. But this is definitely a potential staging point based off of what army he is and what units he has. So this is one of the times where my deployment might be a little bit flexible. I could put Sanguinary Guard there depending on what he has available to him, which means I'm going to save the Sanguinary Guard to be a later drop in my deployment phases. Because I'm happy to deploy them here because they could just always just advance up there or advance up this direction. But I'm also greedy, and having a freaking 19-inch move threat turn 1 can really screw with your opponent's game plan. So if not, then I'm just going to start with the Predator there. I probably in this map, I think I do put my Lancer over here. He's happy. Calidus just deploys a little bit forward so that she can get me contained. Turn 1. Mephiston's doing the exact same thing. Scouts are screening out. If he has infiltrators, I'm afraid of charging me turn 1. I'm going to deploy the scouts on this side just so that I can block this. So let's just move that there just so you guys can see. Because now what they do is they put up a little bubble of, fuck you, you're not allowed to deploy your infiltrators here. Or you're not allowed to scout move here. So that's what they do there. They can kind of like stop your pregame stuff. And then they can also end up being relatively safe by standing here. If he has like long range tank firepower, okay, cool, you'll still get them, but like, whatever. You're shooting tank firepower at scouts, I'm happy. So honestly, so it really looks like the deployment does not actually change all that much. Probably still have a Ball Predator right here-ish. I don't want him to shoot from really this angle. So maybe not. It depends on where his tanks are. So this Ball Predator floats. I'm still going to start with the Sanguinary Guard and 1 Ball Predator in reserve. On this map, it just depends on how he deploys. If he has no anti-tank here, then I can drop my Ball Predator here pretty safely. If he has no anti-tank over here, I can drop him over here pretty safely. So it really depends upon how my opponent is actually deployed, how I'm going to do this map. So the tipping point changes things a little bit. Regardless, the core of all this is the same. So one thing you really don't want to do is you don't want to get Purge the Foe up early. So there are certain times against certain armies that I might not deploy my scouts up this aggressively. But honestly, a lot of times with Purge the Foe, I'm still pretty happy to deploy my scouts quite aggressively too. I really don't mind giving it up turn 1 if they give me like really good movement, denial, things like that. So guys, this is how I'm prepping for day 2. I went through Crucible and I went through Tipping Point on GW2. I find that these videos, I got a lot of feedback yesterday that these are actually really valuable for you guys. So what I might do when I get back home is I'll start going through all of the deployments. I'll do it for WTC terrain, I'll do it for GW terrain, and I'll kind of show you guys how to deploy whether you're going to be playing a melee heavy army or a shooting heavy army. Obviously, I have a good hybrid on this map. So while this is valuable, it might be a little more valuable if I can get a little more specific for you guys. So I think I'll bring that up to you. Also, real quick, guys, we just hit 10,000 subscribers. So huge shout out. Thanks so much. All my paying members, you guys are freaking rock stars. I can't tell you like how awesome it is that this is actually turning into a career for me. We're not quite there yet, but it's growing every single day, and you guys are freaking awesome. So thanks so much for your support. Love and appreciate all of you. If you want to become a member, then you can join up on the members-only Discord by signing up on either YouTube or on Coffee. Follow the links down below. With that, I'm going to go freaking crush some nerds in day 2 of the World Championships of Warhammer. Bye-bye.